future of virtual motorsports is now. This September, the heart of sim racing beats in Chicagoland as the Sim Gaming Expo takes over the Schaumburg Convention Center, September 5th through the 7th. Go wheel to wheel in our competition area, test the latest gear, meet top brands, creators, and celebrate with fellow sim racing enthusiasts. Whether you're a seasoned sim racer or new to the sport, this is your chance to be part of history. To purchase tickets and see the full exhibitor lineup, visit simgamingexpo.com.
It is NTT IndyCar Race Weekend, and of course you know what that means. When they race, we're going to race here first. And now it's from some top split action time in the 2025 IndyCar iRacing Series. Hello again, everybody. Happy Saturday to you. I'm Gary Gonzo, and welcome to round 15. As one of my peers likes to say, the penultimate round of the championship for the 2025 season of the IndyCar iRacing Series for this Saturday top split presented to you by 4D Racewear. As we come to you today from, well, it was good to add it back to the schedule last year, and now we are back at the Wisconsin State Fairgrounds. We're at the historic Milwaukee Mile. As always, joining me in the booth is El Patron Antonio Estrada, and also joining us once again, carrying over from our Tuesday night top split action is Matt Wagner, former winner in the Lionheart Series and also one of the admins over at the Horizon IndyCar Series. Welcome, gentlemen. Starting with you, Antonio. Good to have you back. 2 more rounds to go, and the championship almost in Pelot style. Looks like Kevin should have a good handle on it. But we still have 2 races to go, and a lot can happen as the championship standings, even as of last week, our last race, shook up a little bit.
Yeah, man, already the penultimate week, like you were saying, this championship this season has flown by. But great to be here, great to be joined by Matt. And yeah, I think we're going to have a heck of a race. Milwaukee is one of those tracks that is awesome to race at, and it's very, very fun to watch. It also holds a special place in my heart because it's the first, the race where I got my first win on at Alara RI-18. So,
very
yeah,
cool.
I mean, I always love coming back to Milwaukee. Matt?
This is a very hard track to win at. Your first race here, win in an IR-18, that's pretty impressive.
I hate this track.
You really hate this track? I know a certain driver that hates this track on lap 1. Remember race 2 last one? Lap 1, let's not discuss that. We hope we don't see that here today.
Let's go quickly through the starting lineup, shall we, gentlemen?
Yes.
So on the pole, who else but the king, Robert Maleska III. He is the only one on the 22nd bracket. He did a 20.9. He's joined by Jeff Drake on the front row with a 21 flat. On row 2, we find Andrew Wood, who's going to be starting 3rd, joined by Jason Brophy, who's going to be starting 4th. Row 3, we find Jesper Orman, joined by Rashad Craig. They're going to be starting 5th and 6th. Then in row 4, we can find Matt Hollibow, joined by Alan Britto. Row 5 finds Nicholas Siddiq, good friend of the show, joined by Alexander Miller, who's going to be starting 10th. In row 6, we can find Lilac Zier, joined by Matt Taylor, who's going to be starting 12th. Will Weiser and David Hanger are going to be starting 13th and 14th. In row 8, we can find Ricardo Bisotto, joined by Jason Green. Then in row 9, we can find AJ Schlotterbeck, joined by Jason Willett. In row 10, it's Chris Rice, joined by Marcio Baroni, who's going to be starting 20th. And that is the last of your cars that set a time. Then we have in row 11, Lane Hosler and AJ Pritchett, that's going to be starting 22nd. And in the last row, row 12, it's Justin Betschauer, the ambassador for the IAS, and joined by Moore Christopher, who's going to be starting 24th. That is your 24 car field for today as we're getting ready to go green. Got it right in time, man. I'm proud of that.
Perfect timing. Perfect timing. Here we go for 250 laps at the historic mile. We'll talk about its history a little bit later on, but the pace car is off. Drake and Milewski that wins earlier this week, and here we go. Brophy taking a look to the eye side. Andrew Wood, the catalyst, sending it into the inside.
And everybody is going to need to be very careful at the beginning of the race. Cold tires. And we saw from qualifying, it's actually quite slippery. Yes. So they need to really tiptoe their way around this place until those tires come to temp. Matt Taylor looking to the outside right now of Nick Sidic.
Oh,
it's a little too high.
Run out of room really quick up there.
Yeah, it usually takes a couple of laps for these tires to come in here. Then people will start to use the outside lane here. I usually call that the preferred lane here.
Oh, car spinning to the inside, coming down the pit road, and that is Chris Rice as he is spun it to the inside loose, and there's a wheel on the backstretch somewhere, and that is his wheel, but we are not getting a debris caution because, well, that's just not how iRacing works.
It came out clean. No caution. Matt Taylor has been making that outside line work. He already went by Nick Sidic, now also this batch of Matt Hollibow, and is closing in on Alexander Miller. Everybody's going to the inside, but Matt is going all the way to, well, right now it's on the middle lane. But that's allowing him to carry a lot of speed and getting very close to the cars in front. I mean, it's also a trade-off because going a little higher can take a little bit more off of those tires, so the tire life can suffer a little bit. But if you can make spots happen, track position is typically king here at Milwaukee. As he goes here to the outside of Alexander Miller, he's able to complete a pass. Move Matt up to 8th, already 4 spots above where he started.
Yeah, Wags, you just go where the other driver isn't. Go to the high side.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that high side is pretty king here. The bottom side is, I really don't like the bottom because all that dirty air, because everybody's going to be running the bottom. If you look further back, I'm seeing, another passer position. I think it's Nick Sidic battling with, who is that?
Hollibaugh.
Will Weiser.
Hollibaugh is the satellite racing with the green wheels, and Will Weiser right behind him. And Hollibaugh, I noticed Hollibaugh and Sidic were using that high line too. And you see, the full lane off the bottom for Hollibaugh. I mean, he picked up something in the intelligence there, and he says, "I'll take it to the high side."
It really all depends how these cars are set up, because as you well know, these are as an open set. So if I would be running here, I'd probably be running like more of a higher downforce, just so I can run that top lane.
Weiser!
Weiser, yeah, just caught the wall.
After a very successful weekend for him last weekend. And that is a good, for me, a good transition because here, caution. No, they're going to stop me one way or another, and it is David Enger.
Oh, man, lots of front-end damage to that machine.
It's going to happen in turns 3 and 4, it looks like. So we'll pick it back up here, see what happened to David Enger, and it just loose on entry. Catches it. Oh. And that is that. If that was real racing, that would have hurt. Safer barrier or not, catch the car and then nose it feet first into the wall. Yeah.
That looks like an indication, maybe just a little bit too much weight jacker on the bottom of the racetrack there, and probably too much.
Watch him. He's gonna do some counter steer, and he's gonna bring it on the outside here. Watch the counter steer, and he catches it, boink, right into the wall.
Ouch.
Yeah, that definitely hurt. And I would imagine that here, none of the leaders are going to pit. No, they're staying out. But some at the back might go in and just top off the fuel. You get unlimited sets here, so why not even also just a set of tires here?
Free tire build. We have some of those takers on pit road, starting with Matt Hollaball.
Yeah, Matt Hollaball, Ricardo Soto, Willad, Baroni, Holzler, Iggy Pritchett, Justin Betschauer, Christopher, all in the pits. Again, if you were towards the back, that's a smart play. Because now you can go a little longer on, if it were to go green, you would typically be looking around 70 laps until you pit. So for 250 laps, you were looking at 4 stops no matter what. So if you're able to go a little longer on each one of those stops, these additional 12 laps might just make you get there in 3 stops instead of 4. So I don't know. Strategy starts coming. It will start unfolding really, really quickly here. Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
So that was 12th on back. Am I correct? I think that was
Yes.
Matt on. Okay.
Yes.
So if I was more toward the back, I'm just saying this as a driver perspective, would you stay out just to gain just a lot more track position?
Ooh, that's a good gamble. What do you think there, Antonio? I mean, track position is very key here. We've seen many races be decided by track position. Knowing that people are going to come in, do you maybe take the gamble and see if those older tires are going to outlast the newer tires that are possibly going to be behind you as you try to gain some track position?
I think it depends on where they start going in. If I'm going to make my way onto the maybe top 8, I would definitely stay out. But if I'm going to be mired back in traffic from around P11 on back, you're going to have a ton of dirty air because there are so many cars, right? So I don't know. I probably wouldn't stay out.
Looks like Matt Hollaball got a pit entry violation.
Oh, and he goes to the end of the line.
Now he's going to go to the end of the line.
Getting ready to go back green, boys. Here we go. A little bit of an accordion on back.
Saw AJ Schlotterbeck pull out a line first there as he tried to make a move on Lilac going into turn 1. A little bit further back, Jason Wallet is going to the inside of Ricardo, and he is going to pick up that position, or try to. They're going to side-by-side drag race down the front stretch. Still down low. And, he almost cleared him, but he had that rotating in the middle of the corner. Didn't rotate good enough. And Ricardo held the momentum on the outside.
Matt Taylor is still making that outside work. Already went by Alan Berteau. He was having difficulty clearing him before the caution came out, but now he's almost to the attenuator of Rashad Craig. He caught him in like half a lap. Let's see what does Rashad do here. Goes and maybe to top a little bit. But
wow, he made that look easy.
Yeah. I think, guys, Matt has a really good car. And I saw that he was on his qualifying lap. He actually spawned coming to the line. So that probably explains why he started a little bit deeper in the field. But already up 6 spots.
Looking out of the rear of Jesper Orman's car. Watching Matt Taylor, who is up in the 3rd lane, now 2nd lane as he comes off the corner. Getting that car to work, reeling in Jesper right now. Jesper really likes this racetrack. He's a former winner in the Velocity Online Racing Series here. Also done well in other leagues action as well. 19 of 250, Malechka, Drake, Brophy have commanded the top 3 since the drop of the flag. Wood in 4th, Orman 5th.
Yeah, I'm watching Andrew Wood's line. He is taking much more of a higher approach. He's gaining very, very little ground on Brophy. As you said, that air pusher is really hard to pass here at Milwaukee.
Now, before that caution came out, I was getting ready to transition to the points. Here are the points standings. Kevin Burrell is your points leader. Alan Bruteau, who is in today's lineup. Where is Bruteau? We will put the camera on him even though he's going to be behind the graphic. We'll come back out and you'll be able to see him. He is second. Will Weiser has moved up to third now. Nathan Moore fifth. Logan Edwards in fifth. So we got Burrell, Bruteau, Weiser, Moore, and Edwards. And Weiser and Edwards are teammates, so 2 team cars in the top 5 right now. And also Burrell and Bruteau, they're teammates. So we got 2 teammates at the top of the order. So what does that tell you? Strength in numbers. That's what it tells me.
Nick Sudik and Alexander Miller almost touched coming off a 4. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That was very close.
I've been watching that battle for the past couple of laps. They've been trading back and forth.
Now Alan Breton tried to make something happen, but opens the door for Will Weiser, who's going to go to the inside here. Gets a little bit of clean air, though, because Miller went to the outside. Now they're going to have to do a little bit of a drag race. He's going to benefit at Breton because he has the draft. Here comes Weiser again to the inside. He's going to drift back up. Yeah, you can lose so much momentum by just having the car in front go to the line that you don't expect it to be. It can be a very frustrating racetrack. I can understand the hate, Gary.
I hated this track going back to IndyCar Racing 1 and 2. That's how long I have hated. I love ovals, but when it comes to ovals, I am not a fan of this track.
Really, during the kart era?
Oh, yeah. The old Papyrus IndyCar Racing 1 and 2, yeah.
Those were the best games. Yeah, I was terrible at pretty much any oval that wasn't Michigan. Like I went to Nazareth and I would crash every single time.
Oh, that was, yeah.
But I still enjoyed it. I mean, sometimes you ended up going the wrong way, and that was fun for 8-year-old me. So.
Did you play IndyCar Racing 1 or 2? Was it 2?
IndyCar Racing 2. As Alan Breton touches the wall just a tiny bit, that allows Will Weiser to get a run, and he's going to be able to clear him finally. But it was IndyCar Racing 2. Fantastic game.
Same.
Yeah, I had to, with IndyCar Racing 1, that's the one I have. We're watching where Bruteau gets up in the wall as he washes up there, and Weiser had to take evasive maneuvers, and that little bit of aero wash from Schlotterbeck's car. The IndyCar Racing 1 had they had 2 expansion packs. It had first of all, it had a track pack that had kind of all the other kart tracks, and then it had the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And then if you got IndyCar Racing 2, as Will Weiser comes up in mixed contact with Schlotterbeck and noses him into the wall, and that is a day done for Schlotterbeck as he is severely damaged. That is Alexander Miller. Day done, and he's going to bring a crippled car back to the pits, but no caution on the racetrack.
No caution. I think it also damaged Will Weiser. He's pitting right now.
We'll go back and watch this in slow motion and just see what happened. Schlotterbeck was about half a lane lower than I think Weiser thought he might end up being, and he starts coming up the racetrack. And a little bit of net code, but would have been contact anyways, and that is day done. And yes, the right front wing plane of Weiser's car is bent, so he's going to come in and take a look at that because really he would have just hemorrhaged time because downforce is king here at Milwaukee.
Jesper Orman is pitting. I'm not sure why, but that's not a good sign. Pitting on the green.
Orman, this is not a scheduled stop, I would imagine. He is going up on and he's punching out. He is out of the and has retired the car.
Wow.
Oh wow!
From 5th spot, or in the top 5.
I went back a little bit. Didn't see any damage, so might have been a mechanical, as we call them.
Or maybe some real life situation.
Yeah, maybe there was someone at the front door or something. You know, it happens. We just do this in our sim sets for fun, and sometimes real world does come knocking, literally. MILWAUKEE, your leaders. Jeff Drake is second. We got Jason Brophy in third. We're starting to lap traffic right now as Jason Green just got lapped. We are now lapped up to P11 already. 24 cars started this race. 3 cars have now retired. I'm assuming Miller's going to retire. I'm not sure how much repair is going to be done on his car. I think Will Weiser should be able to get repaired, although he is out of the cockpit at the moment. But I was getting ready to say, for the Indianapolis Motor Speedway expansion pack, which was kind of hard to find and hard to get back in the day, I think I got lucky and found it at an old Software Cedra back in the day when I was a kid. But the only other place that I knew of you could buy it was actually at the Speedway gift shop itself. But if you got IndyCar Racing 2, someone was enterprising and engineering enough to, in the days before really kind of modding was a regular thing, figured out how to do a track converter and convert the track to be able to be run in IndyCar Racing 2. So that was a lot of fun, because then you had the same car that set the track record at Indianapolis, and you could race it on Indianapolis, and you could actually get up to those speeds.
But yeah, now we take for granted, you know, I'm just going to download this thing or whatever.
Yeah, someone's going to do it for me. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, back then you kind of had to at least look really hard for things. I remember I ended up adding a lot of mods to my IndyCar Racing 2 installation way back then, but they were not that easy to find.
MILWAKEE leading by 8/10 over Drake. Brophy back a little bit by about 2 seconds back behind this battle. And third, Wood in fourth. Taylor now in fifth. Rashad Craig moves up to sixth. Nick Sudik 7th. Alan Brutteau 8th. Hollenball 9th. And Schlotterbeck in 10th. And it looks like Weiser has retired. And it looks like Miller has officially retired as well. So we started this with 24 cars, and we're already down to 19 by lap 40.
Yeah, a lot of attrition, but only one caution, so strategy is still wide open. Those guys that pitted early, if they're saving fuel, you know, they might be in a really good position if this goes green. I was also keeping my eye out on the leaders, MILWAKEE and Drake. There's not a lot of separation, still only 0.8 of a second between them, and they both have and share the fastest lap of the race. It's a 21.736 for both of them, down to the third decimal point there. So, and they're going faster. Right now, Drake was faster for a couple of hundredths. And now MILWAKEE is finding more traffic right in front of him. That's Moo Christopher, who's going to go 2 down right now.
Yeah, there you see I have the fastest lap of the race, and there you see on the tree, just circled it for you, 166.2 apiece for each one of those guys.
Amazing.
That's so funny.
We have to tear that down to the 4th digit.
Yeah, probably.
And I only show 3 digits on the overlay, so officially the purple lap. Actually, you know what? I'm looking in Race Lab apps, and I don't see this very often at all in Race Lab apps, which I have kind of for, I'll bring it on my screen here. I have it for supplemental timing and scoring, and it shows me pit stints, and that's another reason I have. But as you see at the top of the screen here, 21.736, both purple. So Race Lab app only goes to 3 decimal places as well.
That's what I'm showing. As Lilacs here goes a lap down, though only the top 10 remain on the lead lap. Next, right in front, it's AJ Schlotterbeck, who is probably wishing for a caution right now.
Right now, yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, Schlotterbeck goes a lap down. Watching this battle between Rashad Craig and Nick Sudik, who are really not that far in front of the leaders in the grand scheme of thing, and they're fighting each other, but at some point they're going to have to want to work with one another. But here goes Nick Sudik to the inside in the 1 and 2, and he clears the IAR car of Rashad Craig and move Nick Sudik, who is looking, he might have himself a shot at the Indy Oval title with 2 rounds to go, as he is among the points leaders there. Move him up to 6th.
Yeah, awesome job by Nick Sedig. Quietly crawling his way up, and then the other day I was looking at the standings, and I was like, oh yeah, Nick is leading this thing, so it's pretty fun.
It's Nick like a quiet ninja now getting up at the top of the standings. Led much of the Indy Open Series the season prior, so he is peaking at the right time. And he's also on that new Fiercely Forward squad. There's a lot of support there in numbers as well. He goes down and uses those rumble strips to help that car rotate through 3 and 4 as he starts to put a little distance between himself and Rashad Craig. Closest battle on the racetrack. Go to back here. There's a whole bunch of cars right around Brophy who just got by, but got Lilac Zier, Schlotterbeck. Oh, just a mad group of bees right here.
Yelling Hostler also in there, Lilac Zier. Folks that are one down, folks that are on the lead lap,
Taylor goes to the middle.
That makes a difference and goes like, no, I'm not going to waste any time here. But it's also around this time where the tire wear is probably very noticeable for many of these guys, especially the ones that didn't pit on that full caution that we had.
Justin Peschauer getting loose, turning into turn 1, but catches it.
Speaking of cautions, you remember when Matt Hallaball started back in the 22nd position?
He's in 9th. Yes.
He's now up to 9th.
And he is the lead car of that group that stopped at lap 12. The rest of the cars at lap 12 kind of been stuck in that group and can't really break away. Hallaball is the only one that's broken away from that group. Go back to Taylor, who's now caught Andrew Wood. And while we watch this battle, we'll get into today's history lesson between 1939 and 2009. And again, between 2011 and 2015 and returning in 2024 and beyond, IndyCar's raced at Milwaukee. Get this, guys, a total of 166 times.
What?
Yes.
Really?
Okay.
3 wide down the front stretch as we got 2 of the leaders going to the inside of the 2 lap cars. That's Wood, and following him through is Taylor. Actually, I don't think that's right. I want to double check that.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot.
It is more than Indianapolis. It is more than Indianapolis, and the reason why for a long time there were 2 races or more a year here.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. But Taylor has caught up with Andrew Wood here.
We're watching that right now.
And I'm sure a lot of it has to do with traffic, but Taylor, he's been pretty fast at the beginning of the stint. Looks pretty fast also at the end. Still using that middle lane, not
Here's
going
my
all the way to
calculator.
the top.
So got my calculator up. We'll double check this. So, Cart raced here 30 times. USAC and AAA raced here 73. So that's 103. Okay.
Yeah.
And okay, I think someone did a typo because it's 103 plus the 13 races that IndyCars ran here. That's 116. Right, so someone did a typo there. So that's
okay. That makes more sense.
That makes more sense. But still, it's raced more times than the Indy 500. Now, if you start adding in the Indy GP, it starts getting up to a number in terms of all-time races at a facility.
Sure.
But Milwaukee, a lot of people don't realize that this IndyCar has come here and been here many times. Through that time, race distances have varied between 100, as little as 100 miles, up to 200 miles in the early days. In the mid days, kind of the 60s and 70s, it was 150 to 200 miles. Kind of in the 80s into the late 90s, they started to get up into the higher 220, 225, and now into the 250 lap races that we're doing these days. The track record, the IRL track record set by Helio Castroneves in 2006, but they are using a track distance of 1.015 miles. So we're using 1 mile as a measurement here, according to iRacing, but IndyCar used 1.015. So the lap time is a 172.4. is what Helio Castroneves said, and that is still the track record today, and that's still how IndyCar measures the track today, 1.015. I don't understand over the course of history, CART measured it differently a couple different times. USAC always called it 1 mile.
Not confusing at all.
Yeah, not confusing at all. So, in the sake of today's race, we're doing 250 laps, 250 miles, but if you want to count it, IndyCar measurement, we are doing actually 253.75 IndyCar miles here today, if you go by the IndyCar measurement. Unlimited tires, pit road speed limit 45 miles per hour. Remember, this is a open setup, so everybody gets to create and massage their cars as they see fit, and also adjust the settings when they come to the pits for what we think might be at least a 3-stopper. I don't think anyone is going to do the 4-stopper. We haven't seen anyone execute the 4-stopper, which is really stopping at lap 50. The 3-stopper is actually open right this very second, starting at lap 62, 63. Can somebody get into a 2-stopper? I don't know about that. We'll see. That's closer to lap 80, and we're only about 20 laps away from there. It's kind of a haul, but if somebody's saving, it's possible.
Yeah, and that caution actually helped.
Yes.
So it might be closer than you think.
It might benefit Matt Hollabaugh.
I think it does, yeah. Especially if he's able to stay on the lead lap.
He's not far from getting lapped because Robert is like more than 5 car lengths right behind him.
Yeah, he's right there.
He's got Justin Petschauer in front of him. He's like, go, Justin. He just goes to the outside to the high line around Justin. He's like, I am not waiting for you through 3 and 4 with Robert MILWAUKEE breathing down my throat. Breathing down my neck. Almost down my throat. Let's put it that way. Let's use proper analogies, Gary. But Robert's had himself a good week. He won the race on Wednesday night. He finished second with teammate Alexander Russell finishing third, and Jason Brophy finishing third. Actually, Team Penske did sweep the podium here back in '94, I believe. They went 1, 2, and 3 here, so that has happened before in IndyCar history. Jeff Drake won the Friday race. Andrew Wood finished second. Alan Brutteau finished third. Today, we have 3 splits, 24 cars in this split. The tops with the SOF of 41.27, which is actually pretty good on a race that we kind of expected to be an off week. A 4K race is pretty good.
Yeah, it sure is. And we've had some great battles all around.
Pritchett to the inside of Baroni in the Snap-on Tools car, and they are the title sponsor of the NTT IndyCar Series race tomorrow. And we ask everybody, I know qualifications and practice is going on right now for this event. Please, no spoilers in chat. I want to see it when I'm done with this.
Pit road.
Scheduled stop, Matt Taylor on a very dangerous pit road entry, and we'll talk about that.
Yeah, so that tells me that he was not saving at all.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, that tells us that they were not saving at all. They were going full bore. 7 laps is around what you would use if you're going like map 1, map 2.
Very narrow pit out. Look at that. You got to stay in that little area there, and now you can go full throttle when you get past the blue cone.
Yeah, and you don't want to go full throttle because it's very slippery. That pit exit is also very treacherous.
And we've seen before on this channel even where there's been a car coming off pit road, they light up the tires, the back end comes around, they spin, and then they go out on the race course and collect a car that is actually at speed that's not in the pit cycle. They'll collect it and cause a wreck. And there's also another car on pit road, Brutteau, coming off. So you got to be very careful down there, especially with traffic on the outside.
Yeah, Brutteau and Wood already pitted. Jeff Drake currently pit lane. I see that is Robert MILWAUKEE now pitting. Jason Brophy's going to stay out, lead a lap.
Let's ride with Jason Brophy until he comes to pit road, because I want to show you how dangerous it is to get on the pit road here. It is like threading the eye of a needle, really, literally.
Yeah, you cannot cross that yellow line.
Here he is. Watch this. You don't see the entrance until the last minute, and that's it. That's all you have to work with.
Yeah, you have to be very precise in order to be fast at entering this pit road.
Now I'm kind of curious how long Matt Halliball stays out.
I would imagine that at least 10 laps. Let's see. Rashad Craig is also staying out.
And Rashad's going to pick up the lead. He's gone longest. And I think he's coming to pit road now. I heard him downshifting through 3 and 4. And he is on pit road, so this will be his scheduled stop. So all of those that haven't stopped yet are now stopping or have stopped. Now we wait for the second group, led by Matt Halliball, satellite racing driver. And if the caution comes out now, these guys that stopped at lap 12, they are going to be looking like geniuses.
I love it when that happens.
And it is a good gamble to go out long, because typically when you're coming to pit road or coming off pit road, that's when problems happen with cold tires or just trying to slow down from high speed to slow speed. Jeff Drake goes purple.
Breaking that tie that we had. Come on, Jeff.
Oh, he was tied before. Now he just owns it.
Yeah.
It was partial ownership before. Now I got it. Yeah, the career wins leaders here at Milwaukee. I'm going to say a name that you don't hear very often. Here comes Matt Halliball. So he did not last much longer than we thought he would. Yeah. He went 65 laps on this stint, and he's pitting at lap 77. So Roger Ward leads all time with 7 wins here. That is a name you don't talk about very often in IndyCar history. He is one of the old timers, and he has 7 wins here back from the 50s and 60s, and he still holds that number. 9 drivers won for more than one sanctioning body. 10 drivers managed to back up their win at Indianapolis with a win here. For the longest time, Halliball almost clips the grass coming off of pit road there. As we were talking about, this is a very narrow pit road. That's where action happens. We almost saw some. But 10 drivers have backed up their win at Indianapolis at Milwaukee. Milwaukee, for the longest time, was the next race on the schedule. In fact, there is a famous movie quote that says everyone goes to Milwaukee after Indianapolis. And that was the case for a very, very long time. In fact, if you did well as a non-regular driver at Indianapolis and you earned enough prize money, typically you would have enough prize money to also then enter your car in the next week at Milwaukee if you wanted to. So often you saw a lot of the same people that raced in the Indy 500 at Milwaukee. And also Milwaukee was typically the first time in public outside of Indianapolis that the general fandom got to meet the first time, or not the first time, but the brand new Indy 500 winner. So this was always a big event on the schedule, fresh off Indianapolis. So 9 drivers have won back-to-back Indianapolis and Milwaukee. I'm going to question one of them because I saw it on Wikipedia and I was starting to do some research, and I don't think this is the case. The very first winner, Bill Holland, in 40, they say he did it in 47, but my understanding, Bill Holland won the Indy 500 in 49, but won the national championship in 47. So I don't know if that person was confusing the national championship with a win here and thinking the national championship was a win at Indianapolis. That is not the case. But I don't think that's correct. So I'm going to go back and check that. But Pat Flattery won here in 56. He won in Indianapolis in 56. A.J. Foyt won here in 64. And he won in Indy in 64. Big Al won in Indy in 71. Won here back-to-back. Johnny Rutherford did it twice, but in terms of back-to-back, he did it once in 74. Gordon Johncock did it in 82. Sneva did it in 83. Rick Mears did it in 88. Little Al did it in 94. And the last to do it was Juan Pablo Montoya in a very interesting situation where he won in 2000 at the Indy 500. What a boring 500 that was. He dominated that race. That was an awful race. And then came here the next week in kart and won the race here and was also the first win for Toyota.
Huh.
While that was going on, Andrew Wood just picked up a 2-for-1 special, past Murphy and Taylor in 1 lap.
Now, let's see if we can catch that again here. Something happened to
81.
Taylor.
Yeah, there was some mess.
Yeah, it was a
lap
big
81. Yeah. There was a whole gaggle of cars, and still a whole gaggle of cars doing different things, because many of the guys that pitted on lap 11.
Oh, wow. Look at all that traffic
yet.
there. And yeah, my bad on the camera there. Andrew Wood, masterful at getting that job done. Wow.
And that's the get. Never mind. We're going to talk about that later, Andrew.
Yeah, we'll continue to try to keep a look around that. And here comes Alibal is also kind of getting close to that battle as well, even though he is currently 1 lap down. First car 1 lap down. He's the only car 1 lap down, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, that pit exchange didn't help matters for him.
Lane Holsler gets a bead on Marcio Baroni. They're side by side down the backstretch. This is for 15th. Holsler in the black Havoline throwback, and that did appear here during the split times in 96, 97. Driven by, well, at first, Michael Andretti, then Cristiano D'Amata, then also Christian Fittipaldi.
Well, those names take you back.
Yeah. you don't say
sure
Cristiano
do.
D'Amata very often, and he's a former champion.
That's right, but wasn't it like 2002, I want to say, something like that?
Yeah.
When the split was already kind of in full bore there, and a lot of drivers were already switching, so yeah.
And this was one of the few tracks on the front line of the IRL IndyCar, or the IRL kart war. There was actually during the last years of the kart run here and the early years of the IRL run here, they both competed on the track, not at the same time, but in the same calendar year. Typically, a lot of tracks, the sanctioning bodies made a lot of tracks make a choice. It's either us or them. Either you're with us or against us. And Milwaukee was one of those few tracks. Texas was another one of them, even though the kart race never really happened at Texas, to allow both series to appear at their facility. So IRL ran here 2004, 2005, 2006, and kart ran here 2004, 2005, and 2006. If I remember right, Wags, one of those kart races, they wheeled in temporary lighting and made it a night race, which is something that we can't do in iRacing here still.
Actually, I have to go through my memory bank on that one.
I think Hunter Ray won a night race here.
What year was that? Yeah, I'll have to go through my memory bank on that one.
Something like that, 2004? Now, Sebastian Bourdais, he won the last kart race here and also won an IndyCar race. He won the last kart race in 2006 and won in 2015 here. So did Hunter Ray. So car sliding through the corner. That was, I think that was Brophy, and he caught it. Let's go back and check that out. I want to go back to full speed because I think he caught it.
Oh, yeah. Nice save.
I think I went back a little too far, but we'll continue on this. Give you the quick hands of Jason Brophy. I think it's right here. He got the lane, and he turns in. Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, nice catch. That's when he quickly adjusts those knobs in the cockpit, going, okay, too much. Jeff Drake starting to reel in. Go ahead, he's reeling in the Let's Go, yeah.
Close. And again, Rob has to go through all the lap traffic first, but Jeff Drake has not let him out of his sight. And Rob took back that fastest lap from Jeff Drake, so he's like, oh no, that's mine.
Gotta get the fastest lap time off there. Had that on there for a while.
Yeah, last time by, Drake was 500 quicker.
Christopher Traska says in chat, I bought Indy 1, the Indy 500 expansion pack at the brand new at Electronics Boutique. Yep. And I have somewhere in my collection around this house. I don't know where it is. It's in storage someplace. I do still have my original IndyCar Racing 1 boxes, and I know. I thought they came in. I know they came in. They had box art and everything because you can find it on the internet. I thought they came in like more slipcases than it did boxes, but it's possible. But I know I kept it all. If I remember right, it was on the box art for the track pack for IndyCar Racing 1. It had Tony Benhausen's Alumax car on the cover.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. But was it on floppy disk or was it?
Yes, floppy disk. Floppy disk. 3.5-inch floppy disk. Yes.
Yeah, I can remember. I can see that because my IndyCar Racing 2 was a CD, which was like ooh, shiny and new, but pretty much every other game.
And now we're in agreement nowadays that optical media is bad.
well, yeah, but
I remember CDs were like the best thing ever, and now it's like everything is all digital now. Technology is insane. Oh, by the way, I did some research on that night race. It was 2003.
Okay.
The winner, Michel Jourdain.
Michel Jourdain,
yeah.
Yes.
That name. Phew.
I was a huge fan of Michel.
He's one of the IndyCar racing fathers of Mexico, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, Adrian Fernandez was the one that everybody rooted for and everybody knew, and he was in a really good team with Patrick Racing. He was in Tasman for a while, and Michel never had a good car.
No,
as, Drake gets a little closer here too.
Always had hand-me-downs. You're right.
Jeff Drake is now on the gearbox of Robert Malechka.
Yep, we're riding with Drake.
This lap traffic is really cutting it down, and looks like it may be a 3-car battle here pretty soon because Andrew Wood has cut down that gap significantly. Now it's down to 1.2 seconds.
Lilac did a good job staying out of the way, gets back in line now, and the leaders now in direct contact with one another through 3 and 4.
Yeah, and Jason Brophy's also not that far away, 2.5 seconds behind everybody else, so the top 4 are still very close to each other.
And guys, pit stops kind of aren't that far away again. We're kind of halfway through this stint for a lot of these drivers. 35 laps in. A lot of them went 70-ish, and that included caution laps. So we expected to be, kind of in the neighborhood of 60-ish laps for a stint. But we shall see.
You're saving a little bit, yeah.
Probably about 1 lap 150 we're thinking we're talking about here?
Yeah.
And then if you were driving, you cut that in half or just run it all the way just to get empty. You never know when a caution comes out, because if it does during the pit cycle, oh boy.
I would run it out.
Jeff Drake blinks out. Now he comes back.
That was a little scary. I thought for a second that it was me, and I was like, no. But now everything's good. Wax, to answer your question, I would stay out as long as I can. Because if I come and pit and something happens, like the undercut typically doesn't work that well here, because if for whatever reason there is an incident, you're gonna be stuck laps behind. So it can be useful, because then you're, if everything were to go green, it might be useful to go ahead pitting right now, just fill it with fuel and be ready to go all the way to the end. But since that's probably not going to happen, you just put yourself at risk.
I'm usually the gambling type. I like, as you've seen some of my races before, usually I might pull the foresight strategy, got the fuel save, I usually call them, or I'll just go balls out and just try to run it dry.
Yeah, I would run it dry. And I think we're going to see these guys come into the pits around lap 140 or so, which again means that they're still not going to be able to make it. And they won't be able to make it on 3 stops. They will have to go to 4. The only way to make it on 3 is if we had more caution. And it has been a very clean race. And, there were a couple of incidents that happened that didn't trigger a caution. So now we have a, much shorter group of drivers around. So cautions are probably not going to happen that much. So I don't know. Still wide open, I think. And some of the guys that actually went ahead and pitted on lap 11, they did make it last a little longer. AJ Pritchett, Lynn Hosler, I think Baroni as well. All those guys went and pitted until lap 83, which gets them in that 3 pit stop window. If they're able to save enough, but again, the lack of caution is probably not going to help them. But they might be able to squeeze it out and get just with fumes to the finish line.
And something we don't see very often is Rashad Craig being run down to be put a lap down, and we're not even to the halfway point of this race yet. This is P8 on the racetrack, and right behind him by 0.7 of a second is our leader, King Robert, a winner earlier this week in the IIS here at Milwaukee. Running down the guy who's leading the IndyCar Open Series standings with 2 races to go.
Yeah, that's just the nature of the beast here. If you don't have any cautions and you're stuck in traffic, man, you're gonna be in for a tough race.
And it's been a relatively clean week for the IIS here at Milwaukee in the top split. Race 1 had 2 cautions for 6 laps. Race 2 had 3 cautions for 9 laps, which that actually would have made things a little bit easier if that was 1 caution per stint. I don't know if it was or not, but right now we just have the 1 caution so far.
Yeah, and don't look now, but I think Andrew Wood is getting even closer to Jeff Drake than what Drake was able to close in on Rob.
Look at that high line that he's running.
Yeah, I really like Andrew Wood's line. It's running just a tad higher than Jeff Drake, car right in front. Just trying to get a little bit more cleaner on the front of that nose of that car.
And these are 2 drivers that know each other pretty well.
Then you also have to anticipate where the car in front is going to be, right? Because otherwise you're going to be on that dirty area.
And that's exactly what happened to Drake there. And that has allowed Andrew Wood to get there. Drake now has Wood all over the backside of him because of the lap traffic in there. To no fault of AJ Pritchett. Yeah. Now he gets by Green there. And again, no fault to Drake. He's just encountering traffic at the wrong point.
Yeah, it becomes about traffic navigation, but also those guys, they don't have anywhere to hide. I mean, sure, it's multi-group, but if they pick whichever lane they're more comfortable in and happens to be the one that you want to run, well, there is nothing you can do, and nothing that they did wrong. So, yeah, it's funny. Whoever is able to run on multiple lanes and keep that speed is probably going to be the one that is able to, make its way through the field.
In a battle between Green and Pritchett. Green in 13th, Pritchett in 14th. AJ with the 14. I gotta love it.
Going all the way to the outside. Well, maybe middle groove. You could go all the way to the outside to that Larson line right next to the wall.
We had an Oval Series race here, and I don't know if you remember that, where the setup, for whatever reason, you had to take it up almost into that 3rd lane up against the wall. And it was one of the weirdest races we ever saw because everybody was up in that high groove.
I loved it. That's AJ Pritchett made the move and is up to P13, but here comes Green back. AJ's going to have the preferred lane here, or the one that he likes running, which is the top. And he clears Jason Green. Yes, I remember that race vividly. I won one of them. So, yeah, I loved it. Going all the way to the outside made it very fun because you really had to be extremely careful to not slide up into the wall Yeah, I wish we had more of that.
Maybe you're missing a future dirt racing. You like the cushion, apparently.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm not good. I've tried it and failed. So no.
You are not the only one who's tried dirt racing here on the service.
As soon as I mention dirt racing, you hear Matt go, "Oh God."
No. I am absolutely awful at it.
There is an entire subculture for IndyCar here, but there is another entire subculture for dirt racing here on iRacing. And I'm like you guys, I cannot grasp that, but there are others that just love it.
I mean, it's fun. I'll tell you that. And when I was running the 305s, the winged sprint car, that's a lot of fun. But once I decided I'm going to try the 360 car, which has a little bit more horsepower. Nah, there's absolutely no way I can control that thing. So I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'll stick to what I know. As Jason Green is not done. AJ Pritchett went by, but Green is still trying to make something happen here. It's a really good run of a 4, and they're going to go side by side here.
Now this is where the worn tires and the high line comes in, but he's making that bottom line work, and they're going to come out side by side off the corner. Drag race down the backstretch here at the Wisconsin State Fairgrounds. Back again side by side in the turn 3, and Pritchett's going to stay way up top. He's going to get all that momentum, and he is going to actually get himself a little bit of a cushion now. Before they were direct contact, and now he's got about 1/10 of a second there just from that high line alone.
There's that word again. Cushion.
This is also allowing Lane Hosler to close in on this battle.
We are approaching green flag stops.
Yes, we are very quickly at lap 60 for a lot of these guys that just stopped at lap 73. They are now 60 laps into their stint, and you called it. We're expecting sometime around the 150 mark. And we're at lap 134.
Matt Taylor, pit
There
road.
goes Matt.
There it is.
First one to blink.
Of course, we're talking about dirt racing. Basically, IndyCar has its roots in dirt racing. A lot of the old timers learned on the dirt. It wasn't until really that those that learned in the lower formulas, kind of in the 70s and the 80s, really have the go ahead. Green and
Brophy
Hosler.
almost ran into the back of Andrew Wood.
We're going to go back and check it out. Yeah, he got a big run on him. It really wasn't until the 70s, 80s, and 90s where a lot of the drivers that came up through the IndyCar system really began learning on mostly pavement and less of the dirt cars. The last time we had an influx of dirt car racers was really at the start of the Indy Racing League, is that we're watching that incident right now. Gets a big run on him.
He was finally able to clear Andrew Wood to move Brophy back to third.
Allen's on pit road.
Alan Berchot, pit road.
If you remember the old IRL days, the likes of Billy Boat and Jimmy Kite, of course, Tony Stewart, all those drivers learned on the dirt.
Wood coming to pit road.
This is going to be very crucial.
I'm not sure if he was entirely... if he was able to get down to, 35 miles per hour in time?
45, and he's not showing a black flag right now.
Good, yeah, I saw him coming a little bit
he came
fast.
very close. If sometime we would see that yellow line where you have to be there. If you go back and look at that, he was
that's the thing. The yellow line was like, oh man. Yeah.
So there is a little bit of a buffer they give you to get the pit road. Not much, but there is a little bit of a buffer they allow IndyCar. You could cheese it a little bit if you get into one zone a little bit hotter, but you can't get into two zones hot. And that's what will get you. Oh, it's Wood all over the back end of Christopher Moore. Or it's actually his name, I want to say Christopher Moore, but it's Moore Christopher in typing and scoring. So Moore Christopher is he's in the Moore Christopher car for less because he's got Walmart on it.
Jeff Drake, pit road.
Okay, curious where he ends up, where Wood is at. Oh.
He's going to pop out in front of Wood. Wood goes purple, though. But not purple enough.
With Jeff Drake on them cold tires, he's able to complete the pass.
We're very close.
And Wood purple again. Okay, so he's going purpler. He's
like,
there.
Oh, not purple enough? Here we go.
There he goes.
Here he goes. He's going to send it to the inside of Drake. Drake gives him the room. Now gives him the dirty air. Andrew Good goes a little bit wider there.
Oh, that's kind of broke.
Teammates coming to pit road same time. Also on pit road, our good pal, Justin Petshire. But Justin struggling down in 18th right now, but just trying to bring this car home in a stacked top split here today.
Let's see where they merge back in. Oh, Jeff Drake and Andrew Wood easily clear Brophy.
But not Milewaukeee. Milewaukeee easily holds the lead. Now Craig. Oh, Craig! Contact coming to pit road. We're spinning. We're going to go caution. And that is it. He got contact with Justin Petshire as he was coming to pit road. And we are under caution here.
Oh, man.
Just bad timing all over the place here. And the leader of the race, knowing that the leader of the race that is going to pick up everything is right behind him, he's going to come to pit road, and he tries to get down in front of Justin, and contact made.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, Rashad did call out that he was going to pit in, but...
yeah, but watch, here's Justin coming off of pit road, and he just comes off of pit road in front of Robert Milewaukeee. So there's enough stress there, but he comes off of pit road where a quarter of the field is all around him, and he's trying to come up to speed, so he's going to let Nick go by. And then here comes Rashad, and again, no place to go, so he just kind of holds his line down low, knowing, and then you got Milewaukeee behind you. You don't want to hold him up, and then and then there's the contact.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Rashad kind of made a little bit of an aggressive move.
Yeah.
I don't think Justin was going to be able to clear him.
I agree. But there's one person who's actually really smiling right now.
Matt Holliba.
Matt Holliba.
Yeah.
Yeah. That strategy call way back, lap 11. That's already paid dividends. Back in the lead lap, able to get his pit stop done.
Now he's back on the same strategy as everyone else, because I imagine everyone's going to come to pit road.
Not everyone did. Matt Taylor did bring it in.
Milewaukeee did not. But Milewaukeee just stopped.
Yeah,
so that's why. Jeff Drake stayed out. He effectively just stopped. Wood kind of just stopped. Brophy 2 laps into his stint, so he just did stop. So, yeah, this is going to get Hollibaugh back on close enough to the master strategy.
Back at the frame. A couple of other takers. That's Alberto. That's Marcio Varani, also pit road. I mean, I would, if I were anybody else, I would probably pit here.
So everybody from P5 down has decided to come to pit road. So we'll take this and just draw a line from here on down. I can't draw straight because I'm using a mouse, but let's do this again. Everybody stopped. There we go. But, I mean, we're getting ready to go green. There's only a slight difference with the cars ahead of them. The cars ahead of them, the most is at 9 laps long. Here we go, green flag. as we see some slower traffic staying to the inside, allowing the faster traffic on back. That is Petschauer and Zier. Rashad Craig has withdrawn. Caution.
Oh, caution.
It is Ricardo. Bazzato is into the wall there, yeah, and let's see what happened.
I apologize, but I don't know.
And Hollball is behind when this has happened. They have two slower cars that are trying to yield to the outside and to the inside, excuse me. And Hollball gets a big run to the inside and net codes Ricardo into the wall and right in front of Lane. It just brings it into Lane.
Yeah, but looks like Lane got the benefit from the gods of iRacing, and it popped back in. The tire was destroyed.
That is horrible, Nick.
Here's Lane here, and he's going to get, as we say, forgiven. How he is forgiven there by running directly through that car. That is pretty amazing. Wow, and everything snaps back into place.
I don't know.
He needs to go and give big-time penance to the racing gods for that one, because he was forgiven big time. Thou, son, may not have damage. Continue carrying on.
That's a bummer for Bissada, though. Like you said, man, horrible netcode.
Lane still comes to pit road and gets his car looked at anyways, which is probably not a bad idea. You got to think of yourself, how did I not get any damage other than that? You know, so you want to get it looked at anyways.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
We are back now under caution after the restart. Malechka, Drake, Wood, Brophy, Taylor, top 5. Did anyone else decide to come back in and top off? No, I don't think anyone else did. It might not be a bad idea. I mean, if you're back in the order, especially if you're like Nick Sudik or something, just top it off. Might as well. You're not, you can't lose any positions where he's at. He's in 7th. He's locked in by a lap. Alan Berteau, unfortunately, is caught on the no man's land here in the race because he's the only car one lap down. And no, we do not get lucky dogs here in IndyCar racing. You must earn that lap back.
Yeah, and pitting here, I mean, I get it. You would be able to top off and get a couple of extra laps, but I don't think it's that useful because you're going to go all the way back behind absolutely everybody. So now you're going to be mired back in dirty air, and you're going to have, bigger problems on making sure that your tires stay up. I mean, whatever condition you need them to be, and pass everybody else. So you're going to end up using more fuel anyway in order to make those passes. So I think, yeah, the safe bet here is just stay out, keep your track position, your physical track position to, avoid having to go behind other guys as we're getting ready to go green. And here we go. Green flag out again.
Malechka, Drake, direct contact. Wood right there, top 3 all together. Put him under a blanket. Down the backstretch. Here we go. Also bring into the picture Brophy. Also bring into the picture Taylor. So despite all the cars getting lapped right now, your top 5, throw a blanket over him.
And here goes Nick Sudik trying to not lose contact with the leaders. Right behind AJ Slaughterbeck. Unable to do much right now, but Jeff Drake and Andrew Wood, they are bringing the fight to Rob.
Wood is using that higher line about every corner.
Matt Hollywood getting by Matt Taylor. Taylor is going to fight back a little bit, though.
167.2 for Robert Malechka with clean air and somewhat fresh tires now. Sets the purple lap, so he now owns it.
Taylor able to keep that position, but going back to the front, now Jeff Drake takes that purple lap.
Yeah. I like it. Take that. I got it back. And now Robert going a little defensive down the backstretch. He's like, I'm not going to give you the draft. I'll go to the inside. We got a check-in from the garage area. Jesper Orman says, car was great, but hit the wall for no reason. So there was contact that we missed, and unfortunately that was terminal damage for Jesper Orman. Matt Taylor back in 5th, 167.8.
Yeah, and Jesper was running in the top 5 at the time, so that's a bummer. Last time by, Jeff Drake was a little bit faster, 400s faster than Rob Maleska, though.
Does Drake have anything for the king of Indianapolis, Robert Malechka?
Yeah, because how many times have we said it? Catching is one thing, passing is entirely different.
Right. And catching Robert Malechka is one thing, and then passing Robert Malechka is entirely another one, yes. Something you don't see very often. You normally see Robert doing the passing and catching, not being passed and caught, or caught and passed.
I mean, Duke, he's great. He hasn't been passed yet. So.
Right. I mean, he hasn't led all the laps, but he has led a majority of them. Started up front on the pole. We now got 90 laps to go.
90 laps to go. And when are you driving to pit? Is my question there, Gary.
Well, they got pretty much, they could go the entire stint here, and they'll pit maybe with, I would imagine, 20 to 30 to go, somewhere in there.
Yeah, around lap 210 to 20. I would imagine.
Okay.
And they're gonna try and shorten it as much as possible. And I imagine that a lot of folks are not even gonna take tires. They're just gonna do a little bit of a splash and go.
What do you think of? Obviously, you're talking about now extending the length of a tire from 70 laps old or 60 laps old, something like that, and you're going to want to push it into the 90 lap range to get it to the end. And what's it going to be like? Is it going to be awful there at the end there to be handling these cars on tires that old?
I mean, I haven't seen that much wear affect them. So having an additional 20 laps, it might be horrible.
Leaders in traffic. Leaders in traffic.
Yeah.
And it is going to get dicey here.
Here comes Andrew Wood, though, taking advantage. Oh, almost made it by Jeff Drake. We're going to go 3 wide. No.
I have a run here.
Oh, very close. Now he's gonna wash up a little bit. That's gonna scrub speed from him. But yeah, it really depends on when and where you catch that traffic. But I don't know. I mean, I would go ahead and just not put tires on because again, I haven't seen that much of a time fall off from at the end of the stint.
Okay.
So, but I don't know. It's probably.
That's why you are the driver expert and I only do play-by-play.
Yeah, but I only drive the thing. I typically made a horrible strategy call, so I don't know. Don't quote me on that.
Gary, I'm getting you in a car no matter what.
Antonio Estrada with the Ferrari-level calls of IndyCar racing.
That sounds very accurate, honestly. I cannot fight that at all, man.
Yeah, I watched the lap times. I'm sitting here with the Estrada. I've looked at the lap times. They're near the end of your stint. They were probably about half a tenth slower than the fast lap. So I totally agree with you. I would probably come in and just take fuel as a strategy standpoint.
Although, if you're at the back, like if you're at Matt Taylor, who is a couple seconds back, maybe you go ahead and take the tires. If there is a little bit of difference, and maybe a caution happens at some point during those last few laps, then you're going to have an advantage. But if you're the leader, P1, P2, P3, I would just stay like that. As Nick Siddiq actually made his wave at Matt Hollibow.
Today's coverage is sorry, I got to pay some bills here. Today's coverage is sponsored by 4D Racewear. Check out their line of made for sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com or click on their link in today's description. Also check them out at the Sim Gaming Expo. You can also check myself and Maddie Wagner there. We will be there September 5th through 7th in Schaumburg, Illinois. To learn more about the Sim Gaming Expo, go to simgamingexpo.com. And to get your tickets, if you seem like that is something you want to do, you should definitely check it out. There will be an IndyCar tournament going on, and GSI, Gomez Sim Industries, the makers of the best wheels that you can get for your sim rig. They will be there sponsoring the Open Wheel Invitational. Robert MILWAUKEE will be in that. A number of other drivers that we see throughout top split races will be in there as well. So you should check it out. And it will also be broadcasted, I believe, on the Sim Gaming Expo YouTube channel. And Maddie and I will be calling the action. At least for 4 of the 5 races.
Yeah, I was ready to say, you have the honor and privilege to leave me for Tony Kanaan.
Yeah, I'm leaving you for Tony Kanaan. Tony Kanaan will be there. He will be a guest, and he will join me for the call of race 1, which will actually be, now I understand, it will be Chicagoland as a call for Chicagoland Motor Speedway. So we're gonna get a chance to call a real banger. You and I will get a chance later in the weekend to call a banger at Michigan. That will be good.
Oh, yes, it will. Looking forward to that one. Ooh, Andrew Wood just got a little bit loose off
just
the turn number 4
saw
there.
that in the background. He's wearing out that right rear, trying to run down Jeff Drake, and he's using that bottom line this time.
I'm really surprised he's not moved up to the really top lane, because that's where he's been running before, and that's where he's been gaining time the most and saving a little bit of tire. Oh, he just got
again.
There again, yep, yeah. He did. Dial back the weight jacker, adjust those bars. Hey, if you enjoyed P1's coverage of the IndyCar iRacing Series Saturday top split and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you'll miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcasts. We do this for free on behalf of the iRacing IndyCar community. So if you would like to donate, you can donate to our GoFundMe campaign, and this link is in the description. You can also send us super chats in chat here on YouTube as well. We greatly would appreciate it. Any amount that you could donate, no matter the amount, of course, is deeply and honorably appreciated. Thank you very much, everybody. Thanks for being here. Lap 177 to 250 as we watching this battle for second spot between 2 longtime veterans of the community, Jeff Drake in second with 1 win already this weekend, and Andrew Wood with a podium already this weekend. 2 podiums this week, as a matter of fact. Started off Sunday in the Classic IndyCar Series at Kentucky by finishing second there for a podium finish. And maybe we'll bookend his weekend or his week with another podium finish or better. We shall see what the Catalyst can do here in the closing stages.
Yeah, he's been looking pretty solid. And also something else that happened. I just saw Matt Taylor go and get the fastest lap away from the top 3. But also the track temperature has come down. We started the race at 100 degrees Fahrenheit. It's now down to 90. So it's going to be a little bit faster. It's going to be a little bit grippier, and you're not going to damage the tire that much.
And that's what I was getting ready to say. If you go with no tires late, the conditions are actually encouraging that call now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and it's overcast a little bit, so yeah, I'll double down on that. Alaska heavy traffic right now. I'm trying to pass Alan Brichaw. Now has, who's that? That's Moore Christopher right in front of him. Able to navigate.
Yeah, that was a good move on Moore's part to go to the top side there and allow the leader on by. And the guy that's second in series points right now, Alan Bruteau, 2 laps down now in the order, but still looking at another top 10 finish, currently in 8th.
Run here.
Oh, he's going to box him in. Oh,
yep.
Drake goes all the way to the outside, but no, it's going to be,
Oh, Wood gets him, but Drake's got a head of steam, and he's going to take a peek to the inside to try to get that shot back, and he sends it into 1. Lap traffic again there. Here's Petschauer and Wood. He adjusts his line, and he is going to hold on to that position now. Drake's not done, though. And still another lap car involved.
That's Brito right in front of him, so that's not a slow car at all. Here comes Andrew Wood to the inside.
Brito second in points, but has no wins this season. 12 top fives with an average finish, and this is really what's doing it for him. An average finish of 7th, which actually ties what Kevin Burrell has. Kevin Burrell also has an average finish of 7th. So much like Tom Sneva in 1978, where he won the national championship with no wins, Alan Brito showing consistency pays off, at least to second place in the standings. With now less than a race and a half to go in the season, we have the remainder of this race, and then next week we go to Nashville Super Speedway. And I'll tell you what, guys, as we watch Andrew Wood then getting around Jason Wallet, if the Indy Fixed or Indy Oval Series race is any indication of what Nashville is going to be like, we are in for something really, I don't want to say too exciting, but really interesting next week, because we might be in for a pack race.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope not. I would imagine that it's gonna be a little packy at the beginning, but the changes and differences in setups should allow us to separate a little bit, and it also gonna depend a lot on the track conditions and weather. But yeah, I mean, they could throw us a curveball, and that's gonna make it completely different. We'll see though.
Straight to the inside of Holsler, yep, and he gets on by Holsler. Holsler now actually is kind of in a battle with Green right in front of him, so that would be position. We'll see if Green, he gains on Green here when Drake goes to the inside, and that does get closer. It does.
Yeah, and we need to remember that Holsler went into the pits because of that caution, well, that incident that he had and then got forgiven, but he might be able to catch Green here, although Brophy and Brito go by him. But here he comes, has a good run actually on Green. Doing a little bit of a diamond line there. Entering very, very high and then cutting all the way to the apron and then exiting high. Let's see what it does in 3 and 4. Goes high, middle. He's unable to build a good run here. Let's see. That's a good run. He's kind of modulating the throttle. I'm not even sure if he wants to pass him.
Yeah, that probably saving fuel and taking less fuel on the last stop, possible.
Yeah, maybe. Because he has had 2 very good runs, make the 3 with this one, and
he backed out of it. He backed out of it. And Green with a wide exit off the corner there. We ride with Lane right now. And that old Newman Haas livery. It's hard to believe that livery never ran. As iconic that livery is for a kart era car, that livery never ran at Indianapolis. Ever.
Yeah.
It would have if they had the 96 Indy 500 in the traditional way. But no, the whole split, that never ran. The Havoline car like this never ran at Indianapolis.
What a shame. Such an iconic car. One of my favorites ever.
Matt Taylor coming through.
Yeah. Boom, gone. Yeah, and this is a track that really showcases the differences in setup and how fast you can be with a really, great setup.
Speaking of setups, we'll go back to Nick Sudik. sponsored by P1 Docks. Of course, we know that they sell IndyCar setups. I wonder how close to the Indy set that they're selling is what he's using today. I always ask the P1 guys, so how close to what you sold and what you used, how close was it? They always say it's close. But I also know that they're not telling me the truth. So.
Come on now, Gary. Do you think they're actually going to give you their ultimate?
I tell you what, teams hold the secrets of their setups closer than the Epstein files are held by the government.
Oh.
No, these are like state secrets to these teams. These teams, they will, they just don't give them out, and they secure them as well as a setup can be secured.
Yeah. Jason Brophy's closing in on JF Drake, though.
Let's get up there.
The bottom.
Andrew Woodhead and has put some distance.
Yeah, he did. He's a lot of distance. A couple of seconds, as a matter of fact.
No, he's coming to pit road.
Scheduled stop, final stop here for the Catalyst.
Right, yeah, so you can also do that. You can split it in half. I would imagine that by doing that, he will go ahead and change tires.
I would.
Would, yes. Up on the jacks. There we go.
Going up. Yep.
Down and away.
Yeah, the only reason to not put tires is if you do it with like 20 to go, 30 to go. That's even pushing it a little bit.
Look how narrow that pit out is. Now
I made the mistake before.
I've seen a number of people make the mistake. It just happens. Narrow, slippery, cold tires, you name it.
That was the old IndyCar on the service. Yeah.
Oh, the IR09 or the IR05, whatever they want to call it.
IR05,
Yep.
So
that had
RPM.
that thing has that low band, that low torque band on it, and if you you get too much in the gas. If you've ever seen a lot of folks, if you ever watch any of the IR05 races, and they're out there like the Classic IndyCar Series and some older ones on YouTube, restarts were always dicey with that car because of the low torque band. The number of times coming up to speed in that car, you see people spin out on green flag restarts, or starts or restarts, period, is quite common. So coming off of pit road, that is I can see that happening. I can see that happen, especially when you juice it a little too much and you're trying to get a little extra out of it.
Matt Hollabaugh is calling out his pit. He's coming in pit road.
And he's got the leader around him right now, and Hollabaugh makes the extra braking and hard turn down low off of 4. Threads the needle, comes to pit road.
So now both Wood and Hollabaugh are in the danger zone, right? If a caution comes out right now, that's not what they want to see. Although they would take a wave around and should be fine, but they're going to be all the way behind everybody else. So right now they're praying for no cautions, because that's the way that this strategy works.
I think Hollabaugh is out there working alone now. He started this race with a couple of associated teammates, and they are out. So he is running this race solo with no wingman. There goes Jeff Drake on by.
Brophy trying. Oh, caught Hollabaugh at the worst possible moment. Fastest lap, though. Purple lap for Andrew Wood.
Wow. And he's catching Brophy.
And that is a very purple lap.
Brophy still needs to stop. And if in case you want to know what that lap time was, here it is for Wood, a 168 flat.
Yeah, he was 2/10 quicker than Brophy last time by.
Drake coming to pit road. Final stop. Oh, linking out. Oh, back. Linking again. Uh-oh, this is not good. Let's get back to MILWAUKEE now, who gets around the Snap-on Tools car of A.J. Pritchett. Where Snap-on is the tool. Snap-on is the sponsor of the IndyCar race for real this weekend. Special livery for Joseph Newgarden. Man, still a lot of talk of, in fact, now it almost seems like a sure thing that Will Power's done at Penske, and that's a waste. I think that's a huge waste. Molechka purple lap, 168.1 on really old tires.
Yeah. Yeah, and Andrew Wood is unable to pass Brophy right now.
And a purple lap before coming into the pits, no less. Wow. That is Robert Molechka for you.
So now, Rob, he had a ton of, advantage over the other guys. I would put on those tires that I talked against doing originally.
Yep, up on the jacks.
It's probably going to work for somebody like Brophy, maybe. You could make an argument of just, staying on those older tires, but we'll see.
Taylor coming in, up on the jacks. Nick Sudik coming in. Scheduled stop, final stop. Nick Sudik up on the jacks. Up on the jacks, when I say that, it's normally a sign that we're changing tires.
Brophy spinning now.
Yep.
And I think he's going to change tires. I do. I think with 37 to go, 36 to go, still long time to be on tires that are 70 laps old already.
Yeah, for sure. It was only going to work if they were able to save a little bit more.
Yeah.
And pit with like 20 to go, 30 to go even. But 45 to go, still a long way. Down and away. Looks like he's going to be able to make the jump on Jeff Drake, though.
Yeah, he's going to get the jump on Drake. Woods in second, though. Drake trying to run 169 flat for Drake with the fresh tires. Molechka, 169.1.
Yeah, Drake got it, then Molechka gets it.
Now, they could be working in comms together, and they could be like, hey, watch this. No, watch this.
There's going to be a battle here between Drake and Brophy here.
Let me show you something. Oh, look at all the traffic. Green tries to stay high. AJ Pritchett stays low. Robert Molechka, 170.1. So we've gotten to the 170 brackets.
Come on, quit showing off. I've raced this guy so many times. Oh God, yellow out is Nicholas Sadiq. Hard in the wall.
Oh, one of the guys involved in the top 10 in points here. And that is a terminal hit. And we're going to go back and take a look at it here.
Yeah, it looks like he lost it.
Yeah, he lost it going into the corner, no less. So this is early snap loose. Possibly did not reset his tools in time. I mean, he is 9 laps into his stint. Maybe set too much of the tools.
Yeah, that could potentially be it.
We'll speed it up here a little bit. I think we went back a little too far.
That's a bummer.
Oh, okay. No, it's in turn 1. And he tries to turn underneath Pritchett. I think that's in front of him. And he gets the run. Watch this. I think, no, it's Schlotterbeck, excuse me, in the 15. And he turns down, and I just... yeah. Maybe he made a bit of a... Let's go check the in-car. He make a bit of a shallow entry and turn the wheel a little bit more because he thought maybe Pritchett or AJ was going to come down. No, he didn't even turn the wheel at all. Just the car really didn't like that low line, that shallow entry. The car did not like it.
It just snapped.
Yeah. I really think his entry is just a little bit too shallow. If you take that a little bit too shallow and a little bit high weight jacker, high probability your car is going to spin is pretty high.
All right, so now that everyone with 31 to go should be good to go, and if not, they're going to stop here Do any of the leaders make the move to try a gamble here with another set of tires here that'll be fresher than everyone else? And it does not look like anyone's doing that.
Yeah.
So I think track position is going to matter here late.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would. I mean, there's not going to be a lot of difference between brand new tires and 2-lap old tires, or 10-lap old tires even, with Andrew Wood beating the last on laps 200. But yeah, only top 5 remain on the lead lap. We had Matt Hollywood come into the pits, but he's the first car 1 lap down, and he's pretty much on an island of his own. He's the only car a lap down. So, there's really no gain for him right now and no way to lose. So that's a smart call. And yeah, we'll see what happens here. There is a car in the middle of Wood and Brovey, though. That's more Christopher.
Yeah, and we're
we're
still on the point that they can't get the the leaders can't get the wave around. So that's going to be later in the race. We're kind of bordering that. So he's trying to stay to the inside on the racetrack, giving the outside to Brophy. He might lift going into the corner, allow Brophy on by. And that's kind of what it looks like he does. So Brophy sails on by. For the top 3 now in direct contact with one another with 29 to go here at Milwaukee. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. The next race for us next week when we go to Nashville Super Speedway, as Matt Taylor is in a whole horde of bees right now. Jeff Drake is in the same situation.
He actually did pit on that last caution. Sorry I missed that, but he went for a new set of tires.
He sure did. He pitted at lap 220. Hollaball lapped at 219. The Hollaball dipped in too. Then we see Hollaball involved in that battle. Malechka 171.1.
What did you say, Wax? That he was showing off at this point?
Yeah, oh my god, he ran a 21.1?
Yeah. I'm sure he wants to go sub 21.
Alright, now the next lap he just...
Close.
Now 21 flat, 171.5. Let's ride with him. What the hell?
Lighter fuel tank.
Agreed.
$21.1.
Yeah, and he needs to get it done right now because otherwise he's going to start catching lap traffic if he wants to go sub 21.
Right now he's pulling away from Andrew Wood. About a second now.
Yeah. Well, listen to him. We're riding with him right now. He's not really breathing an awful lot. This car is handling very well in the corners.
Of course, you've got the best spot in the racetrack, clean air in front.
And probably the best team setup as well. I mean, private label Team Hype Power Slide Super Squad. They work hard. They work very long on these setups. Wood back 1.1 seconds. $23 to go.
And they're about even on speed right now.
Get ready to say next race for us is next week. Championship Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Final race of the season, Nashville Super Speedway. It could be an interesting one, so check it out. Next week, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Nashville Super Speedway, right here on P1.
You did watch the fixed race, right?
I called the fixed race.
That was quite interesting to watch on my side. A pack race at Nashville. My God.
Hey, in December, P1 Broadcasting becomes the prime time home for Today at the 500, sponsored by Oil and Gas Safety Supply, your nightly destination for all the action leading up to the prestigious PRI Hoosier 500. I suspect Robert will try to qualify for that. The last kiss of the bricks for 2025 starts here. The countdown is on, so pucker up and don't miss a second of the action. Like, share, and subscribe to stay locked in. And we'll see all of you in December for the last kiss of the bricks at Indianapolis with these Indy cars for the PRI Hoosier 500 right here on P1.
Going back to that Nashville race, I think I got a podium there on that fixed race. Or close to that, I don't know.
You guys had the sneaky strategy. You guys decided not to change tires because the tire wear was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't wear at all.
When I say pretty good, it's just it was not a factor.
Nah, total non-factor. Yeah, weird thing. That's now Rob Maleshka is in heavy traffic here. I think he's way by more Christopher.
And then next up for him on the racetrack is Baroni, Green, and Wallet right in front of him.
Baroni and Green, they're fighting.
That's a battle for position.
there.
That is a top 10 spot that they're fighting for right now. I'll tell you what, after an afternoon of open IndyCar racing, open setup IndyCar racing, a top 10. As Baroni does not give him a lot of room off a quarter exit. He's going to hold on there. But after racing these guys, you want a top 10.
Oh, yeah.
A top 10 is just as good as a win for some of these folks. And believe me, I will be right there with you. I will be popping the champagne after a top 10, knowing that I have Malechka, Wood, Brophy, Taylor, Drake, and Hollandball in the lineup right in front of me.
Baroni and Green going side by side right in front of Andrew Wood. I'm sure Andrew Wood's not very happy about that.
I can hear the radio right now.
Well, I know what Wood wants, but those two guys are battling for position at a top 10 at that. It's just hard to tell those guys to move over, you know. Got to get out of the way, guys. Well, I got to race the run, too.
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
Yeah, nothing that they did wrong or anything. It's just unfortunate timing.
It's not like DeFrancesco and then whatever happened at the Indy 500. I mean, he was battling for the same thing. Not to mention a couple thousand, tens of thousands of dollars of difference in prize money. I'm not pulling out of the way for that one either.
Now, Brophy has really closed in on that lead from Wood. As they both make their way through Jason Watt there.
And again, want to thank the guys at 4D Racewear for sponsoring today's coverage. Make sure to check them out at 4dracewear.com. Click on a link in the info. Make sure to check out, buy a new set of gloves. Hey, a set of gloves for a 250-lap race at Milwaukee is a pretty sound investment. I would go pick some up from 4D.
Actually got a pair.
They're nice. Their shoes are nice.
Yeah, the shoes are nice. Yeah. I use them for road course racing. It is really good. Guys, you just need to pick up a pair.
The number of people that sim race in socks and bare feet, I don't know how they do that. I mean, maybe the socks. Definitely not the bare feet.
The socks?
Here's a battle for
we got
position.
side by side with.
We're watching here.
Oh, Brophy's going to get the dirty hair. And
Lane
on the outside.
he uses Lane as a pick. And Lane had nowhere to go. He had to hold his line. That was pretty savvy strategy for the Catalyst, Andrew Wood. It wasn't dirty racing, and then Lane did what he was supposed to do. He held his line, and it was predictable, and unfortunately, Wood ran Brophy right into the back of him, literally.
It's smart. I probably would have done the same thing.
Brophy's going to get another shot at it here. Meanwhile, back up front, Robert Malechka clear by 1.3 seconds now with 5 laps to go, 5 miles here at the mile in Milwaukee on the campus of the Wisconsin State Fairgrounds. Like many of the old school IndyCar tracks that they raced on. Here's a battle for position again. We're on the fairground sites. California, Sacramento. They raced at the Indiana State Fairgrounds for one of the races, the Hoosier Mile there.
You know, this lap traffic, the battle for second, may come into play here.
There it is. And Lilac Lilac's holding their line. They're not being unpredictable, and they're just trying to let these guys on by. And they made it by. 3 to go, now 2.5 to go. Actually, less than that is Molechka coming off of corner number 4. He's coming to 2 to go.
I could tell Brophy is so much faster than Andrew Wood. Andrew just trying to hang on for that P2 spot.
2 more miles now, less than 2 more miles. Now it cuts across the nose of Brophy. Brophy gets the run. Now he's going to be side by side, get a wheel there. White flag in the air this time by is Brophy. I think it's going to get that position.
Got it. Wow.
And I think that battle is going to calm down as Putschower stays high.
Oh.
And here comes Robert Molechka for his second win of the week here at Milwaukee. And another dominant one for the King of Indianapolis. Now, the King of Beers here at Milwaukee. He gets the win. Brophy comes home second with a late charge around Andrew Wood. Andrew Wood, a podium finish to bracket his first podium in the CIS earlier this week on Sunday. He will finish the weekend with another podium here on Saturday. That is your top 3.
That was a great battle for second there.
The IndyCar used to run at the fairgrounds in Illinois, too. Yeah. IndyCars on fairgrounds, very much an old school thing. And Molechka with the win by 2.47 over Jason Brophy. Andrew Wood. You know, it's hard to believe Andrew Wood, out of 24 cars here, was the 16th ranked car. I mean, he's that damn good. But he brought it home third. Go ahead.
I had the honor and privilege. Remember the Dark Horse days? Not Dark Horse days, but the Lionheart days when we were in the DW12. He was the fastest car there. Unfortunately, didn't win, but the win with the Matt Taylor. Great job by Andrew Wood.
Jeff Drake in 4th after starting up front, being there all day. Matt Taylor, the king of the high line very early on, comes home 5th. Hollenbaugh doesn't survive to see the lead lap, but he does come home in 6th. And Berteau in 7th. That's going to help him in a good strength of field race get closer to the championship, but I don't know if he has enough time. But the championship will carry on one more week to Nashville. AJ Soderback in 8th, Lilac Zier in 9th, and Jason Green brings it home in 10th. 7 laps down, that's got to feel like a pretty good race for him. Moving on, Baroni, Pritchett, Hosler, Wallet, and Christopher, your top 15. JP, we'll talk to him here in a second. He'll be in the booth when he catches up with his pre-race debrief. He's in 16th. Nick Sudik crashes in 17th. Rashad Craig with that incident coming to pit road in 18th. Ricardo, 19th. Orman hitting the wall early in the race in 20th. Then we got Miller, Weiser, Enger, and Rice rounding out the remainder of this 24-car field. All right. We'll get some replays queued up here, and then we'll check the interview room and see who would like to talk to us. I know Andrew knows his way to this Discord.
Everybody's here, man.
Oh, good. and we'll bring up Andrew Wood right now. And here he is, the Catalyst Andrew Wood, joining us in the booth, but this time as a driver. First time in a while we've had you here in the booth as a driver, sir. Nice weekend for you, or nice week for you. You bracketed the weekend now with you started the week with the podium in the CIS, and you end the week with a podium here in the IIS. Congratulations, sir. Heck of a battle there with Brophy, though, at the end. Talk about your race.
Yeah, it was a great team effort, really. We all decided to show up and give this one a shot, and yeah, but the shout out to my teammates that really worked hard on a really good setup here, and it definitely showed that we were the class of the field. So the qualifying was okay, but I didn't really feel as fast as the rest of them until probably about halfway through the race. So I was kind of just playing around with different stuff to see what I got. It really was more fun to battle with Jeff there in the middle. I could tell that I was a little bit faster than him, but he was just a little too careful in traffic, and I made a couple of riskier decisions to get by him there. So once it was there, I was actually keeping up with Rob quite a bit, and that's even more shocking for me. So, yeah, and then at the end, of course, Jason pitted about 15 laps later than me, so my tires were a bit older, and it was a lot harder to hold them off there at the end. It was a good battle, nonetheless. So Milwaukee is pretty much my bread and butter, so we go back to some other track, it probably won't be as fruitful, but I wanted to, show up and show that I could still get some camera time and have a good finish here. So it was good fun.
Well, follow-up question to that. What'd you hit on that you found that ended up working for you as you got into this race that didn't work out for you in like shorter runs, especially when it came to qualifying?
It was mostly just managing traffic. There was a lot of sketchy moves out there and everything, and you have to really kind of have your head on a swivel at all times and kind of just pave the way for the drivers to move out of the way for you. And I would say a good amount of times that works. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you get held up in the wrong way. And it's a combo of that plus trying to fight the dirty air and find what line you think they're going to take when you're about a second back or so that you don't swish around in the dirty air and wash up the track. And I'm not perfect by any means, so I definitely had a couple moments where I'm like, man, I chose wrong there, and I knew I chose wrong. But overall, over the course of the run, the car felt pretty good. So, just talking to the teammates too and seeing what their tools and settings were and listening, everything like that. I really didn't have any idea what kind of fuel strategy I wanted to do. All I knew is that you couldn't save to the end, so I decided to split the fuel tanks up, which is always risky as well, because if you get a yellow at the wrong time,
right,
and you pit, then you go down those laps. So it was risky, but I thought that would be the way I could jump Jeff for sure, but I wound up passing my track anyway.
Before we get to shout outs, Matt, you got anything you want to, any smack talk, anything you want to say to Wood or anything?
No. I think him racing here at much of the short tracks that I've seen, it's just something about your skill level that just sets you just look magnificent on the short tracks.
Yeah, I really don't. I can't even. There's no secret. If you were to ask me what the secret was, I couldn't come up with one with you. It's all just momentum, and I'm very much a momentum driver and driving. And this goes back to a go-karting scenario too. You're just always listening to revs. Revs are kind of the key, and that's where you find your turning points, not so much looking at a spot on the track. So these short tracks definitely have that kind of ring to it where you're in a rhythm, but once you get out of the rhythm and you mess up a little bit, it takes much longer to get back on it again. So that's probably the only thing I could think of, the reason why that these tracks play in my favor a bit. But whenever I come to Milwaukee, I expect to do pretty well.
Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone want to say hi to?
Yeah, shout out to everyone that showed up today, and it was a good race for a while. We saw quite a few people bouncing out there in that first stint, which was a little strange, but people come out to race anyway, so hopefully we put on a good show up and down the field there. So shout out to them, shout out to you guys for broadcasting, and of course can't leave my teammates out of it, and you're going to talk to a couple of them right now. So good job on the power slide, guys, to go 1 through 4.
Congratulations on the P3. Great week for you. We will catch you on the channel here in the future. Certainly the next Dark Horse race, which is like next month for us. But we will no, you will not be there. You're going to be at New Hampshire yourself. So we will catch you for sure in the future on the channel. But congratulations and good week for you.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate it.
And he would make, like, do you remember, guys, watching the movie with Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson, White Man Can't Jump? and how they kind of hustle people on the basketball court.
Yes.
That is him right there. He's like, nah, I'm not any good. Nah, I'm not good. Nah. And then he all of a sudden, come race time, he hustles you and beats your butt. That's Andrew Wood. Yeah.
Pulls the reverse card on you.
Yeah.
Talking down on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Andrew Wood for sure. He's very humble, but very much a hustler. And I mean that with the utmost respect for a guy that I love working with. Let's bring up Jason Brophy. And a good podium day for the Power Slide private label Team Hype squad. Again, back in IndyCar history, Penske swept the podium here back in '94 with Little Al, Emo, and Tracy going 1, 2, 3. And the Power Slide, the Hyper Slide guys, as it's called, gets the podium here today. And you had a heck of a battle there with Andrew at the end. Kind of what sealed it for you? A little bit fresher tires, or just took advantage of the traffic and was able to get around him?
He just made one mistake, really. Like he narrowed up his entry to 1 and 2, and that's what I wanted to go wide on 1 and 2 to build a run for 3 and 4, because I was better in 3 and 4. I felt like, especially since I could roll the bottom and he wasn't. That was where. So I figured if I could get inside him going into 3 and be pretty close to alongside him, I'd probably get clear. And he just thought I wanted the bottom of 1 and 2. That was it. I had a little better tires, probably a little lighter fuel. So he was fast. Relative to me, that second to last stint, I'd kind of given up, and I was just racing Jeff. So 1, 2, 3, 4 actually with Jeff. So, but that's overall a really good car, really good day. I don't really have anything for Rob. Would have had to do something stupid, change strat, or I don't know, something else. I know I don't really have anything for Rob. Glad I could get up to second, but I had a lot of fun that last 25 or 30 laps. Once I started to close up on Andrew, he got kind of caught up in one set of lap traffic real bad, and that got me close. And once you're close, especially with the short track package, seems like you get within that 3 to 4/10 window, you can really attack. And I was able to got a little more aggressive with everything, pushing the exits a little harder, and it paid off. Got myself into second. Happy with that. Happy overall with the way this car was. We were left with kind of a poor taste in our mouth after Milwaukee last time we were here. So we spent some time, Adam, Rob, and I especially, and Alexander Russell also, but spent some time trying to work on the car and just figure out what works now, especially here, since we were not good here last time we were here, and we had decent finishes for Rob and Phil, but they're better than 6th and 8th place drivers. So made the set a lot better. Real happy with that. Overall, a good day.
Yeah, that's your second podium this week. In fact, it's 2 wins for Milewaukeee, 2 podiums for you, and 2 podiums for Wood. What'd you guys hit on here? Well, and I think you talked about it a little bit. One end of the racetrack was kind of better than the other end of the racetrack. And for those that are watching that aren't lay people to racing, from a 50,000-foot view, you look at this place and each end of the racetrack looks identical. What makes the car operate differently at each end of the racetrack? What operates? Is it the difference in pavement? Is it visually? What makes each end of the racetrack a little bit different, even though from a high altitude, this place looks identical on both ends?
It really isn't. 1 and 2, the apex is really late. Like if you look at the track map or something, if you look at it, like I look at it in Motec, and the exit of 2 is a lot tighter. The exit of 4 opens up a lot more, but it's a lot tighter at the entry. So that gives you the kind of the feeling of difference in the corners. It's just the radius tightens up at the exit of 2 a little bit, not a ton, but it's enough. It's kind of the same thing you deal with at Homestead, where it's just slightly different. And then the wind today, the wind was making you tight on the entry to 3 and 4, but then it was making you loose at the exit. So 1 and 2, great, you were a little tight in, but the way that corner works, it didn't actually bother you much, or a little tight off. So it was better to set up a straighter exit off 2. And that's what I was trying to do behind Wood, right? I could cross out of the dirty air, kind of keep myself okay, and then have enough for run to get alongside him. And finally I got that opportunity because he pinched up 1 and left me with clean air at the entry, so I could actually cut where I wanted to. It just drives differently. And then with a 10-mile-an-hour gusting wind, you're right, just kind of trying to make sure you hit the marks and kind of don't overdo it, because if you overdo it and the wind's wrong, you're going to wreck. And so only had one moment all race, but yeah, car's stable. I mean, you're having to pedal it on the entry or the exit, but used to be we'd be real sideways, especially to start runs, and now we kind of stay the same, pretty close to the same behavior through the whole run. I like that. I feel good. We still need to work on it. It's a little bit too tight, I think, but felt pretty good at the end there with the light fuel and being able to push. Finally, I really got confidence back in the car at the end of the race. So
there you have it, folks. It's just not turning left and planting the foot. There's a lot going on. Data acquisition, number, and math don't lie. So there you have it. Jason, any shout-outs, friends, family, sponsors, anyone want to say hi to before we let you go?
Tommy Milner, Ty Stover for, getting this team together and giving me the shot. It's really paid off, long term. This team hype. Private label's not on it, but the Power Slide guys, especially, as I said, Adam helped us a lot. He's obviously a little busy this weekend, as well as a couple of my other teammates. Phil and Alex are both at the track as well. So for the race in this case, since they're in their neighborhood. So, I think we actually had a pretty good showing. Pretty much all the Power Slide that drives except Brian. Brian was here, but he had VR problems, so he couldn't run. So, everybody at Power Slide for helping out. And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it.
All right. Congratulations.
Broadcasting. Sorry. Gotta remember that one.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. Always our pleasure. Thank you very much. Well, good to have you get here. Good to see you again. Congratulations on the P2. And I trust maybe we'll see you at Nashville Super Speedway next week. I know you kind of, we'll see.
I have reason to do open. I just don't know that I can be motivated. We'll see. I could technically still win the open title. It's so.
All right. Well, probably congratulations. We'll catch you. We'll catch you the next time when you're in the lineup. But P2, congrats.
Thank you.
See ya. Everyone's kind of next week at Nashville. I don't know about that. Let's bring up Robert. And just like Little Al did in 94, leading the Penske contingent to a 1-2-3, Robert MILWAUKEE leads his team's contingent to a 1-2-3. Congratulations, sir. A pretty dominant day for you. Talk about your race.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. Just kind of the entire race, just making fuel, managing the gap. Definitely had, not to be cocky, but definitely had quite a bit more pace in it, but there's really no reason to push as hard as I could and just kind of save the tires as best that I could. And that was really just all I did all race. So, happy with, I think, 1 through 4 for us. It was a good day.
Really, just no moments out there for you. But traffic did have play a bit of a role at times. How was your experience with traffic, and how did you feel that most everyone did handling when faster cars were around them?
Yeah, I mean, it's always tough with traffic, right? And quite honestly, when you are that fast, it honestly is harder than normal because the closing speed we have on 4/5 of the field is quite literally insane. So really, it's just hoping that the traffic is consistent. Definitely had a few close calls out there, one with Justin, so thankful for him not driving into me when he was dodging Rashad there, but
I was like, oh shit, please, I don't want another one like last year where Rob was bitching at me.
It was, but other than making sure the traffic made, I guess, the right choices and decided their line before going into the corner. It was just straightforward and taking it really easy through traffic, letting the lap traffic choose where they want to go, and then just getting my car around them. So it was a pretty green race there. I had a few yells at the end there, which allowed me to kind of show what I could do and go for fast lap a few times. And that was pretty, honestly, that's probably the most fun I had at the end there, was kind of letting the thing hang out, seeing what the ultimate pace of the car was. So yeah.
I thought you were trying to go for a sub 21 second lap.
Oh, in Strada, I was trying, man. I think if I timed it a bit better coming to the line, I could have got it. I didn't have, on my fast lap, I didn't have a good 3 and 4, or else it would have been really close, because that's what I really wanted. So we were close, but we didn't get it. So maybe I'll go for one more chance at it tonight, I believe.
All right. Well, shout outs, friends, family, sponsors. I mean, gosh, you led 243 out of 250 laps. I mean, I don't know what you had to worry about in this one, other than you should have been practicing this part of the interview for a while. So I would imagine you probably have this part down pat.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, thanks to Jason, Adam, and Alexander Russell really spent a few hours on the setup. We found something really good, obviously, and we made some tweaks to make it even better, especially in Q. So yeah, thanks to the guys for we put in some effort finally, because everyone's kind of, not gonna say we're bored or burned out, but there's a ton of motivation to run right now without no Pro Series and knowing that the car's not fully out yet, right?
Right.
No hybrids. So
Yep.
everything we kind of learn right now is probably not going to apply in the future, but nonetheless, it's good to find out like what goes fast and what's not. So yeah, that's about it.
Well, congratulations on the win, sir. Maybe we'll see you at Nashville next week. If not, I know we will see you later on this channel, some form or another in the future. But congrats.
Yep. Thank you. Take care.
All right, JP, a bit of an interesting race for you. That pit road incident when Rashad was coming, what happened?
I was letting him go by, and I didn't get any notification that he was going into pit or what, because I was letting him by, and the next thing I know, he just darts right across my nose and literally just catches me off guard.
And yeah, that's kind of what it looked like from our end too. Wags, did you say that you heard him say, or no? He didn't say.
No, I didn't see
it. He put
anything.
it in chat.
He put it in chat.
He put it in chat.
Yeah, but I mean, we were talking about that incident. It didn't really give you any time to react.
Yeah, it was just. It was literally just catch you off guard out of nowhere.
Well, I mean, you were coming off pit road with Robert behind you. So you know he's a leader. You want to get up and go. And so you're coming up the speed down the backstretch, and then everything else has happened around you. I mean, you probably came out at the wrong time, and you were just kind of wrong place, wrong time, I would say, because you empty out on the racetrack, and a quarter of the cars that are left in the race are all in your portion of the racetrack.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd also like to apologize to Nick Sadiq. I thought he was going high when I told him I was going into pit, and I didn't realize he was going to go take the same line I was going through too.
I happened to catch that too.
it was. This was just a bad race all around. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to a different setup shop. I'm probably going to go to P1 Docks and hopefully have a better outcome at Nashville. I'm going to be honest, like you said, I'm also not really looking forward to, but you got to deal with it for 225 laps. It's going to be a pack race, and shenanigans will be afoot in that one.
Before we get on out of here, Antonio, Matt, starting with you, Antonio. Final thoughts here from Milwaukee. Looked like just kind of came off as a pretty standard Milwaukee race, kind of what we've seen the last couple of times. And Robert just, put his foot down and said, "This race shall be mine."
I mean, yeah, pretty standard, but also very racy. Like, we saw guys that were able to make moves. Jeff Drake at the end went to the pits, had to go through absolutely everybody again, and he was able to make moves. Every lane was viable. You were able to run pretty much wherever you wanted. Third year, of course, it's always a thing and something that you want to avoid as much as possible. But, I thought we saw a great race. I mean, at the end of the day, we had the top four running away with it. But we also had somebody like Matt Taylor who was, mixing it up. Before the beginning of the race, we had Jesper, we had Rashad. So all in all, I think, traditional in a way, but we also got some very, very good racing throughout the entire field. So, very, very happy about the race. I think it was a lot of fun throughout it all, and looking forward to Nashville. I don't know how it's going to race. It's probably going to be a pack race, but, I mean, if it is a pack race, it's going to be a lot of fun to call. I mean, not necessarily to drive it, but for us in the booth, it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. The cream rises to the top. It would. Short tracks here. This is actually one of my favorite short tracks here, but I can't run Richmond with a dang. But I love watching Milwaukee. These guys maneuver around traffic. The leaders being patient with some of the guys were really really good out there racing the leaders. I love to see that happen. And yeah, Nashville. I don't know about it, guys.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to see how these open setups make it any different than the fixed oval race there. The fixed oval race, I mean, you have to look on the channel. It's on the channel. It's only a couple of weeks ago, as a matter of fact. It's not that far back. IndyCar Oval Series, it was a pack race there, and it was a very unique pack race. And if you held the bottom, you would win the race. That's very simple how things worked out there. And then also, you guys at Rogue Racing kind of threw a curveball out there when you discovered that there was very little tire wear, and you could double stint the tires and then kind of a sprint race. And that's kind of what the Oval Series contributes to, is kind of that sprint race mentality. So, yeah, I'm hoping the open setup will be a little bit different. But I also know the power of the draft in these cars, and even with an open setup, if you can stay in the draft, you know, you could obviously keep up with the pack. So yeah, I'm very curious to see how next week is going to turn out. But today we saw a good old fashioned Milwaukee style race, and Robert, you know, we've seen some other races in IndyCar history. I think Hunter Ray led wire to wire one time, and Robert effectively led wire to wire here if it wasn't for some handoffs during the pit road. So very standard, typical Milwaukee race. So I'm looking forward to next week. I want to thank Wags for joining us on short notice. We might have you in the booth again next week. We do want to send our best wishes to Ryan Walker and his family. We're thinking of you and everything that you guys are going through. So thoughts and prayers there to you guys, and we hope to see you back in the booth here real soon. But good to have you back again, Antonio. One more to go for this season, and we wrap it up. And I would think we're going to end it there and give everyone back their Saturday, and then we can go watch IndyCar racing for real. We'll watch the pros instead of the semi-pros. I don't know. Robert Molechka got a lot of money for finishing, what, second or third in the Pro Series?
I was just going to say that he's technically still a pro, so I don't know.
I think that classifies as a pro right there. So that's it for today. Once again, your podium for the Milwaukee Mile. Robert Molechka dominates the day and gets the win. Jason Brophy comes home second with a late charge past Andrew Wood, who comes home in third. Join us again next week. That is August 30th at 2 p.m. for Championship Saturday and round 16 of the 2025 campaign as the teams and drivers head to the Nashville Super Speedway. And like we mentioned, as if the last race we had there for the Oval Series is any indicator, we're going to be in for what will surely be, and I put quotes around it, a very interesting race. Join us as coverage starts at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Again, it's 2:00 p.m. Eastern. As always, for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything right here at YouTube at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Hey, we love bringing these races to you, and they're not easy. It requires time and money to produce. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar, we know you have, and we know you do, and you enjoyed our coverage of the IndyCar iRacing Series, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description, and donate to our 2025 broadcast fund. We do this for free on behalf of the community. So we realize times are tough, so any contribution would be greatly appreciated. We thank you for watching and make us part of your YouTube viewing during NTT race weeks. Whenever the real IndyCars take to the track, we are here too. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know you thought of today's race. If you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more of P1's other iRacing programming, including Monday night. It could be a pretty good preview to what we're going to see here next Saturday. It's a preview race as the IndyCar iRacing, iRacing IndyCar Open Series will take on the Nashville Super Speedway with only 2 races left on the schedule. Coverage starts at 8 p.m. Eastern Time Monday night. Don't miss it. P1's IndyCar iRacing Series Saturday Top Split is presented to you by 4D Racewear. Check out their line of made for sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com or click on the link in the description and check them out at the Sim Gaming Expo, September 5th through 7th in Schaumburg, Illinois. They'll have a table there, and you can see them in person, as well as myself and Maddie Wagner. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, you can like them on Facebook. You can follow on X and Instagram. The links are in the description. For business inquiries, to learn more about P1 and what we do, check us out on Facebook. You can follow us on X and Instagram, and you can also check out all of our social links on Linktree. Again, all the links you need are in the description. So for El Patron, Antonio Estrada, And again, Ryan Skywalker, we are thinking of you. Matty Wags here in the booth. Everyone here at P1 and 4D Racewear. I'm Gary Gonzo saying to all, thanks for watching. And to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Make sure to catch the real stars and cars of the NTT IndyCar Series this Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time for the Snap-on Milwaukee 250. Follow all the action on your local Fox affiliate. You can also follow on the Fox app. If you're outside the United States, check out IndyCar Live, that application, or just join Mark Janes and the gang on IndyCar Radio on Sirius Channel 215. Be sure to check your local listings for the correct broadcast times and station in your area. You can catch us again next week, Saturday, August 30th at 2 p.m. for Championship Saturday in Nashville for the next race of the IndyCar iRacing Series Saturday Top Split right here on P1. Have a good and happy Saturday, everybody, and let's go watch some IndyCar racing.